Hi everyone, welcome. We'll just be waiting for others to join in. Okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome Rian. Welcome Chinwe. Welcome Blessing. Um, you can just chat and let us know where you're coming from. Um, you could check on the chat. Let us know where you're calling in from. Yeah. Please let me know if you can hear me. Chinwe, Rian, Blessing, can anyone hear me? Okay, just type on the chat where your name and where you're calling from and your role. Welcome, Blessing. Um, just waiting for others a bit before we kick off. Okay, it's 5 minutes. It's almost 5 minutes. So I'd like to introduce our speaker so we could get started. I know that other webinars are just rounding up, so some others will be joining us just after that. This is just to help us stay on stay on track. And our speaker today is Blessing Bossman. I don't know, first of all, if Blessing can hear me, if you can unmute and try to say something to be sure that, yeah, that we can hear you clearly.
Yes, I can. Yes,
Oh,
I can. Can you hear me?
oh, yes, but it's cracking a bit, but yes, I think I can hear you. I can hear you, but it's cracking a bit. Maybe we'll try again another time. But yes, let me just introduce our speaker. I can see some others are joining us. So,
Can you
Blessing
hear me?
Bossman. Sorry, come again.
I was asking if you can hear me now.
Oh, yes, much, 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 much better now. Thank
All
you.
right.
Yes. All right, I'll go ahead and introduce our speaker. Blessing Bossman is a business transformation consultant, a growth marketing manager, and she thrives in scaling organizations through marketing, advertising, and systems. And she has been in the business for a long time, currently the managing director at Diri.io and also the Pine Media. We look forward to learning a lot from you, and yeah, thank you for being a part of WUD this year. Um, Thank you and welcome. Yeah, please go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you very much. So please confirm that you can hear me clearly. If you can hear me clearly, just probably put it in the chat. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. So I'm going to turn on my camera shortly. Just give me a minute. All right, awesome. Thank you.
Please remember you can use the chat while Blessing is setting up. You can use the chat so that the speaker knows that you're here and can see that you're following and all of that. It makes it more interesting. So if you can drop on the chat your current role and where you're calling from, are you a product manager, are you a designer, are you a developer, and where you are calling in from, and what you're hoping to get out of this session, that would be super helpful. Um, yeah. If you can't chat or something, then let me know. All right, I can see Maggie from Abuja, so let's go ahead and just drop some messages here. Thank you. Blessing over to you. Yeah.
All right, thank you, everybody, and thank you for joining me on this session. My name is Blessing Bossman, and I'm the managing director at Dari.io. I've been a marketing consultant, business transformation consultant for over 6 years now, and it's an honor and privilege to be talking to all of you. All right, so I can see in the chat, Maggie. Hi, Maggie. I can also see some other people, Ryan, Soluwani, and Shinwe. So thank you all for joining my session. So we're just going to go right into it. I'm going to start off by sharing my screen. Yes, so please give me some minutes to share my screen. Okay, so please confirm you can see my screen and you can hear me and we're good to go. All right, awesome. Thank you very much. All right, awesome. Thank you very much. So once again, my name is Blessing Bossman, and today I'm going to be working with SDP.
I think your network
Now,
is currently freezing.
the way I handle my sessions, I like to make it interactive. I also like
Yeah, maybe let's try with the video off and see if that would help the network.
Okay, is my network better now? Can you hear me now? All
Yes,
right,
I was able
awesome.
to hear you well now.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen again. All right, awesome. So we can go ahead. So probably you, as I was saying, you can probably put in the chat and tell me what you do, what your product is about, what your business is about, what you're currently building. Just let me know in the chat. So whatever I'm going to be saying during this class can be customized to you. Okay, so I'll be waiting to see that. Just tell me what you're building. It could be an idea, it could be something that you have a prototype for, could be a business you're currently running. I want to see that in the chat. Or nobody is building anything. I don't believe anybody is not building anything, but I believe that the people that are on this call are actually building something. So please let me know in the chat what you're currently building. Okay. I'm building an edtech platform connecting junior talent to SME that need to build prototype. All right, awesome. Thank you. I'm building a fintech app. Awesome. Okay, awesome. So we are all building one thing or the other. A recipe app. Ah, interesting. I don't think I've heard of that before. That's pretty new, or maybe it might not be new. I probably have not heard of it before, but a recipe app, that's pretty awesome. So we are all building something, right? We all have a product that we are building. There is an idea that we have, there is a vision that we have that we want to see come to life. And it's important that if we are building anything, we know how to tell the story for whatever we are building. We know how to communicate the value of what we are building. I don't want to jump the gun, so I'm just going to follow what I have on my slide because now it feels like I'm going to jump the gun. But let me give us a quick exercise. I'm going to read out two statements, and I want you to tell me, out of these two statements, you tell me what you're going to buy. If I come to you today and I say, oh, I've built a fintech app that uses AI to automate savings, that's one. Or I tell you that Ada earns 200K monthly, but never seems to save. Now we've built a simple app that helps her put money aside automatically so she can stop worrying about emergencies and start dreaming again. I want you to tell me, which of this platform are you more likely to key into? Are you more likely to subscribe to? Are you more likely, if you are an investor, are you more likely to invest in? Which of these platforms are you more likely to key into? Is it the first one or the second one? The second one, the second platform. All right, awesome. I need you to think about why you go for the second one. So you're going to tell me in the chat as well. Now, another example. We help young Nigerians take control of their future by making savings simple, automated, and rewarding. Secondly, we built a fintech platform that uses blockchain and AI to make payments seamless and efficient for users. Now, I want you to tell me again, which of this platform are you more likely to key into, or are you more likely to invest in? Platform one or the second one? Platform one, okay. Maggie said platform one, platform one. Okay. I'm curious. I don't want to say this is the reason why you're choosing it, but I want to hear from you. Why platform one? And the other one, why platform two? What's that striking thing that will make you say, okay, this is the platform I actually want to key into? I want to know the why. Because for everything we do, there's a why, right? So let me know, what is your reason? You can relate to it. Awesome. Waiting for one more response. Anyone else? Why did you choose the platforms that you chose? Because I can relate to it. Talks about my pain. Awesome. Now, I'm going to go back to the first one. Oh, sorry. I'm going to go back to the first one. It says we built a fintech app that uses AI to automate savings. What this does is just talk about the futures. It talks about what you've done, probably what the founder has done. But the second one made mention of the consumer's name. I can relate because I am someone like Ada that probably tries to save, but I always find it difficult to save. But now they're telling me that they've built a simple app that can help me put my money aside automatically. Because in my own head, once I get my salary, once I get my paycheck, I don't think about putting money aside. The first thing I'm thinking about is paying my bills. I'm sure everybody, majority of us are like that. Once money comes into your pocket, you're not really thinking about, okay, let me first of all save. The first thing that comes to your mind is, let me sort out my bills. You've probably done your budget and you're thinking about sorting out your bills. Now, imagine a situation where you have an app and the app just helps you. Once the money lands in your bank account, it takes out a certain percentage and keeps it for you automatically. And do you know the funny thing? There's a particular platform that does this. And who can tell me the platform for this? The platform that does this for us here in Nigeria. I don't know if anybody knows it. Exactly. So you see how we were able to relate and how we know that this is Piggyverse, because this is the story Piggyverse have told over time. This is the narrative that Piggyverse has given to us over time. What this shows us is that people don't buy what you do. People buy why you do it. And I'm going to explain it and break it down for us. Before I buy anything, now let's remove consumer goods, right? Because there are some consumer goods that are a necessity. Let's take away consumer goods from our head and let's focus on innovation. Let's focus on platforms. Let's focus on tech platforms that people are building nowadays. There are so many of them out there. But before I would sign up for one, or before I would key into anything, I would think about how that relates to me, how that solves my problem, how that particular product, that particular innovation applies to my life. I will not just think about it from the perspective of, okay, what are the numerous features that these people have? And there are a lot of founders that go out there, and one of the key things that they're saying is, oh, we've built an app, we leverage blockchain, we leverage this tech, we leverage that tech, but people don't care about that. People don't care about all the nice and fancy technology that you are leveraging. The most important thing for your consumer, the most important thing that people care about is why you are doing that thing and how that relates to them and how that solves their problem. I want to know how all of this nice technology that you've built solves my problem. Why are you doing the things that you're doing? Why are you building the app that you're building? Why are you building the products that you are building? Because at the end of the day, in order for you to successfully sell to anybody, they need to see the why, they need to understand the problem and how it relates to them. Every single day, invest hearing of new products in the industry, new innovation, new technology, new apps every single day. But what will help you in standing out? What would help you in getting the kind of investments you need? What would help you in getting the funding that you are looking for is that you have a story that sells, not just a good product. Have you not come across situations where people who have not even built a product they are raising funds? I've seen it. I have seen it so many times. Then you ask yourself, why is it that these people, they don't even have a product yet? They are still in pre-stage, they are still building, but they are able to raise funding. So how are they able to do that? They are able to do that because they have something tangible to offer to these investors. They have a story, they have a narrative that investors are seeing the value in it and they want to key into it before it becomes too late. There's something, I was speaking to one of my friend when I wanted to raise fundings for one project that I was applying to. And I asked him, he's quite an advanced person in the industry. So I asked him, sir, concerning this stage that I'm in business right now and seeing of the fact that I want to be able to raise funds, what are some of the things that I need to be aware of? Because a lot of times we as founders, we see investors as the alpha and omega because they are the ones giving us the money. So we think that, oh, if this investor does not invest in our business, or we need to approach them in a certain way and stuff like that. But it made me understand the different stages of business and how investors sometimes are even grateful to be a part of what you're doing. How investors do not want to miss out on opportunities. How they are consistently and constantly looking for opportunities that they can tap into. Some, it could be at the early stage before you even start getting any level of traction. To others, it could be at the stage where you're already getting traction, where you have your MVP and you have a level of traction. Then they are seeing the potential. Then they can come in and invest in your business. Others, it could be at your scaling stage. But at different level, the stakes are higher. What I will give to you at my pre-stage will not be what I will give to you when I'm at MVP. It will not be what I will give to you when I'm scaling. Right? So investors want to look for a sweet spot that they can come into. And in order for them to come in for that sweet spot, it's that you have a story. It's that you have real problem, real value, because stories are not just something we craft. It's not that, oh, we are teaching storytelling for your MVP and then you think that, okay, let me just go and craft one nice narrative. Let me make it emotional. No, that's not what it is about. In order to tell a good story, you need to have a good problem. You need to be able to solve a good problem to tell a good story, because the story is tied to the problem. It's not the story does not exist outside of the problem. The story and the problem are together. Is that there is a problem and then we are crafting a narrative to actually sell that problem using the product that we have created. So it's not that the um, the story is just existing. No, the story is not just, it has to come with the problem that you're trying to solve. So if every single day investors are hearing pitches, they are hearing everybody telling their own story, everybody is saying one thing or that, what would make them key into yours? What would get them to say, I see Maggie. I see the app. I see the things that you are doing. Why should I key into it? It's because of the way you present your to them. And that's what this session is going to cover. Now, before you sell your story or before you start pitching to anybody, it's important for you to know your products. So I'm not just going to jump right into how to craft a good story. I'm going to teach you the beginning. You can't sell the story if you don't know the product or the solution that you have. You also can't sell a story if you don't know the people that product is solving the problem for. So I think maybe the real thing that I should even title this is not even know your product. It could be know your problem. You need to know your problem. You need to know the problem that your product is solving. You need to understand your product in depth. You need, a lot of times, one of the things that I've seen with founders is because we are idealists, we carry a lot of ideas in our head. We carry a lot of things that, especially if you're a technical founder, for technical founders, you find yourself in a position where you're always wanting to build. Let's build the next big fintech. Where let's build the next this. Let's build the next that. Especially for technical founders, because what you know how to do really well is to code. For non-technical founders, especially for people that have backgrounds in marketing, you can start thinking about different angles to come from. You can start doing your market. I know that quite a number of marketing founders, they always think about it from a problem perspective other than from a product perspective first. So if you are either technical or you're non-technical, it is important that you own the product and the problem that product is designed to solve. What problem is this really solving? Why are you building that recipe app? You say you are building a recipe app, great and fine. Why? You say you are building an edtech platform, great and fine. Why? You say you are building fintech. Why? I personally, I don't want to say I have a problem with people that are building fintechs, to be really honest. I don't want to say that I have a problem with that. But I feel like the fintech industry is overly saturated right now. I think that a lot of people are building fintechs. I think that a lot of people say they are trying to, there's one popular word that they use. They're trying to bank the unbanked, right? That is cool. That is fine. You want to bank the unbank. I have no problem with that. But one of the things that I've noticed is in banking the unbank, you try to use technology to solve that problem. And you forget that the unbanked and majority of the people in the grassroots stage, they are not technology savvy. So in the bid to say, oh, I'm trying to bank the unbank, I'm trying to do this and do that, you don't consider the right solution for the right audience. And that's one of the problems I have noticed in the fintech space. And I'm not really a big fan of it, except people now start bringing up real innovation to actually push the narrative that they want to push. And that's one of the things that why I like other platforms like OPay, like MoneyPoint. They're doing really great in that space. But majority of the new fintechs that are coming up and they want to use that narrative of banking the unbank, I think they really need to look into their solution very well. It's not just about building products. Another thing you need to ask yourself is, why does this matter now? Why are we trying to solve this problem now? Is the market ready for us? Okay, this is where I get to give you a lot of marketing lesson. I know you want to tell story, but you can't tell story without data. You can't tell story without problem that is valid. You can't tell stories without validating the solution that you say you have. It's impossible. It's not going to be a nice story. It's just going to be fluff and bluff. It's just you speaking. Why does this problem matter now? Why do we want to solve this now? What is your data set like? Investors are not going to invest in you just because you're saying you have a product and you have a nice story, an emotional story. Oh, my mother this, my mother that, so I'm able to build a app. That everybody is not your mother, right? Because your mother went through that problem doesn't mean that there is a market for that. Even though there is a market for that, is the market ready for it? Is the market really ready for it? Is the market going to invest in it? Is the market going to buy it? Because the problem I see in the industry is that some people forget that their first investor is their customers and not necessarily people that are investors, venture capitalists that are going to give them money. Your first investors are actually your customers. And I'm also going to share that in the slides. So you need to ask yourself, what is my data set like? What is the current state of this industry? Who are the people moving money here? Who are the people making it in this industry? Are we actually making money in this industry? Because if you're going to pitch to investors, they want to see that you can make money. So whatever story you're telling them, they also want to know that, okay, if I invest $200,000, if I invest $1 million, whatever I am investing with this person, I'm literally going to see a return of investment. Because it's not just about investing, right? It's not just about that. People also want to be able to get their money. I feel like I need to change my background. People also want to be able to get their money back, right? So you need to ensure that you are actually showing the value that your product has to offer, and you understand the market very well. All right. Also, why does this what transformation happens to the user? If the people that are going to use your product, what transformation will they experience? Because understanding all of this will help you in crafting your story, right? Because you now understand the real problem that your product is solving. And that's why Simon Sinek developed something called the golden cycle: the why, the how, and the what. Why are you doing this? How are you doing this? What are you doing? These are questions that you need to ask yourself as a founder, someone that wants to be able to build a product that stands the test of time, someone that wants to be able to build a product that people can use, people can invest in, people can see value in. Now, instead of thinking of your product from just a future perspective, I want you to start thinking of it also from a benefit perspective. Instead of saying we use AI for smart savings, I want you to say we use AI, or we help people save without thinking. Because now you need to show the value, you need to show the benefit. You're not just showing what it can do, but you're also showing the things that it can do and the outcome of what it can do. So if AI is helping me save smartly, what is the emotional benefit? What is the psychological benefit? What is the outcome of AI helping me saving smartly? Is that I don't have to think about saving. I don't have to worry about saving. I don't have to be stranded, because I know that I have an AI accountant that will probably help me save at the end of the month. So what that creates for me is a form of relief. That is the emotion that I get to sell. That's what the founder is selling to me. If you say you offer 24/7 customer support, what does that really mean to me as the user? If you say that I am always there for you whenever you run into any problem, come to me, we offer 24/7 customer support. In the mind of the user, what does that mean to them? To me, I am thinking I will never be stranded. If I have any, my problems get solved faster. If I have any issue, I can literally escalate it. I'm seeing a companion. I'm seeing someone that will be there for me, someone that provides me that level of safety. I'm seeing someone that is always going to answer my question. So I'm thinking from the perspective of safety. That is the outcome I get. If you say we deliver in 24 hours, and please, all of these promises that you are making, right? Do not go and say what you cannot deliver on. It's important I put that out there, because a lot of times we see founders say, oh, we deliver in 24 hours, and you know that Lagos is not, probably you're from different parts of the world, right? And you know that the logistics system of your country, the logistics system of your state does not allow you to actually deliver on this promise. Do not say it. There are other areas that you can find your unique selling point from. There are other areas that you can bank on. But if you know that the conditions around your society does not allow you to deliver on a certain promise, do not offer that to your consumers, because you'll be causing more problems for yourself, right? So you need to be able to switch your futures into benefits so that it can trigger emotions in the hearts of your consumers, in the hearts of your investors. Now, before we craft a story, we also need to know our users. This is another important aspect, knowing your users. Aside knowing your product, you need to know who you are creating for. You need to know who you are solving for. Who are these people? And that's why user story is important. User mapping is important. Who are you really solving for? Who are they? Where do they live? What do they do? What's their income? How do they think? You need to understand your users to the tiniest detail. The way we draw up target audience demography in the past is gone. You need to start thinking about it from different angles. You need to think about it from psychography analysis. You need to think about it from demography. You also need to think about it from how these people really think. Let me give an example. I was telling my friend recently that the kind of buyer that I am, I'm a very loyal buyer. What this means is if I buy from you once, I'm more likely to come to you again. I do not really have the energy to start scouting for things in multiple places. So I'm a loyal customer. As long as you treat me well, though, if I use a particular product or I use a platform and the entire experience is good, I'll keep using it and I'll recommend you and I'll tell other people about you. That's the kind of buyer that I am. All you just need to do to please me is give me a good experience. But there are people that would literally go from one vendor to the other, go from one product to the other, test it all out in order for them to make a decision. To be really honest, I do not have that time and I do not do that. I prefer that. I even prefer buying from recommendations. So how I make my buying decision is I see other people recommend it and I buy it and I recommend it and I keep buying from that person. Now, if you understand this type of buyer, and there are so many people like me, like literally we are many, you can't even be that kind of a person, right? If you understand this type of buyers and you know that there are people like this, how do you design your product? How do you design your funnel? How do you design your strategies to be able to solve the problem of these kind of people? These are some of the things that you need to think about. Because now, if we're going to craft a story from this set of people, we need to think about it based off the kind of people that they are, based off their characteristics, based off their likes, their wants, their dislike. We need to think about it from that perspective. So you need to understand everything about your user. And you can have different buckets of users, right? It doesn't have to be one. You can have people that are loyal. You can have people that move from one place to another. So you ask yourself, okay, how do I get these people to stick? How do I get these people to remember me? How do I solve the problem of these people so they don't have, because the goal of every product is that we are having customers and not just one-time buyers. We're having consistent and loyal users. That's the goal of every founder, is that these people who use our product today, that we want them to be consistent, right? We want them to keep transacting with us. We want them to keep referring us. We want them to keep using us. That is the goal of every founder, right? So if that is literally our goal, then we need to have different buckets of users or different users, audience segmentation, and then create stories for these people, understand their desire and create story for them. If you can tell their story better than they will trust you to solve it. If you understand your users and you can tell their stories better than they will trust you to solve it. Why? Because they feel like you understand them. There's a platform that I'm trying to see in the industry right now, and it's a problem that a lot of women are currently facing. Is that we women, we are looking for consistent beauty vendors, and we're also looking for beauty vendors around us. We hate having bad experiences with our beauty maintenance. We hate it. I want a situation where if I walk into any spa or wherever I go to do my beauty maintenance, the service delivery is consistent and I'm able to do my nails, my lashes, I'm able to do everything that concerns me. And if I probably move to another city, I don't want to be struggling to find a beautician close to me. And I also don't want to be hopping from one beautician to the other, because one bad experience can ruin your entire mood, can ruin your life. Especially, let's say, for example, you go fix your nails and someone use acrylic to spoil your nails, or the person does a very shitty job. It takes a toll on us women. So I am thinking, and because I belong to like communities of women, this is something that they are always complaining about. Oh, please recommend a lash tech, please recommend this, please recommend that. So if we can have a central place like a database or an app that we can find local vendors close to us. And then also people who have used them drop actual reviews of these people, so we know exactly who we are using, right? And we're able to book that person. Now, imagine someone decides to build that app and the person thinks to him or herself and say, okay, this is the problem women go through. How can I sell the story to investors to be able to see that there is a large market for these women? And if we're able to solve the problem of these women, we'll be able to make money. So the person can come from the angle of every single day, there are over 1,000 or 2,000 data set. You see how I'm using data. Every single day, there's 1,000 of women out there consistently looking for beauty vendors that would that they can verify beauty vendors that they can book. Or the person can come from the angle of Blessing booked a beauty vendor close to her, and she literally sports her nails. And since then, she has been finding it difficult to trust any artisans close to her. She's consistently worried that she might never find a beauty or a lash artisan or whatever artisan that I use. Now we are building this product to help Blessing solve this problem. Let's call it Beauty Art, right? Beauty Art. So Beauty Art, with Beauty Art, Blessing is able to find local, verified, trusted vendors close to her that she can book for her beauty maintenance. Then they start giving all of the data sets and all of those things. If me as the user, I hear this particular story, I can relate because I fell a victim in the hands of some local artisans who probably didn't do a good job for me, and I had to like up from one place to the other until I found someone good, right? So these are some of the things that we should think about when telling your story. You need to know your users. Now, there are three audience of your story. Your story is not just for investors. So, but for the purpose of this class, I'll be teaching you just based off investors. But I think it's also important that I highlight this because I like to be holistic in my approach of teaching. The first thing you need to know is that your greatest investors and your best investors are your customers. Do not build for investors, build for customers. Do not build your MVP, your product, for investors. Build for your customers because your customers are your first investors. One of the things that is quite popular in this industry right now is that people are more focused on raising money. People are more focused on building products so that they can raise funds. They forget that the essence of building a product is to solve a problem. And that's why sometimes we hear of startup closing up. We hear of startup founders embezzling funds because a lot of startup founders are now so much focused on what investors want to hear other than what the customers want to hear. If you build for the customer and tell a good story, you would have the right investor to back you up because the investor can see that this is a real problem. There are people that are validating this problem and the market is ready for the solution that you have. But if you're focused on building for investors and integrating, adding all of the features and integration that investors are because investors have different segments. There are investors that probably want to invest in AI startups. And your product should not have any business with AI because you're looking for an investor, you're going to build AI startup, right? But what I'm saying is build for your customers. Understand your customers, understand the product, sell the story, and you will be able to get people that will believe in that dream and invest in you because they know that this solves a problem. And that's what investors want to see, to be really honest. Your customers are your first investors. They are the people that are going to give you your first money. During the course of this entire program, I'm aware that some of you are going to be pitching. One thing I want you to know is that not everybody will win the pitch, and which is totally fine. The person that wins the pitch doesn't mean that that person's product or whatever the person is building is better than yours, right? I want you to understand that also. So when you are going up there and when you are selling your story, you're selling yourself, you're also speaking to people that are more likely to use the product that you are trying to pitch for funding for. So your customers are your first investors. Secondly, your audience. These are the people that amplify your brands. These are the people that talk about you. They may not use you, they may not have any need for what you're building, but because you have a good story, they will tell others about you. Then your investors, they fuel your growth. They put in money. They amplify the work that you are doing. The reason why investors are even investing in you is because of the customers. So you need to ensure that you prioritize, like your customers are your number one priority. They are the people that you are thinking of. They are the people you are solving problem for. So whoever is coming to pump money into your business, whoever is coming to give you guidance, whoever is coming to do anything for you, the reason they are doing it is first because you have consumers, because you have people that will validate, that has validated the solution that you currently have. Now, let's focus on how we are going to get these investors to fuel your growth so you'll be able to serve your customers very well. That's the mindset I want us to lead with. The first thing you need to do is to grab attention. You need to be able to get people's attention, and you can get attention with a story, you can get attention with a hook. How do you grab the attention of these people? Whether you're pitching first, you're pitching second, you need to ensure that the first statement that come out of your mouth, it's something that we get people to say, or we get people to wonder and want to continually hear what you have to say. Secondly, you need to have a problem, and this falls back to your user. What is broken in the system? What is the problem that we are trying to solve? What is that thing? What is that thing in the industry right now that we are trying to solve? What problem are we trying to solve with the product that we have, which is your solution, which is your MVP? What is the solution? So first of all, we are thinking, okay, how can we grab attention? Next thing we are thinking, what is the problem? What is broken in our industry? What am I trying to solve? What is the problem of my user? The next, you are thinking, how does my product, how does my MVP solve that particular problem? Somebody said she's building a recipe app. What is the problem when it comes to recipes? I really want to understand that. I myself, I don't cook a lot, so I really don't know much about the cooking industry or some of the problems that is going on with recipe in the industry. So I don't know. I have literally no idea about that. But when somebody said it does a fintech platform, so what is the problem? Someone said he's building an AI game, powered game for kids. Oh, okay. Serves curriculum aligned content. It's okay, interactive game. AI interactive game for kids. That's beautiful. So what is the problem? If that's what you're building, what is the problem? Is it that kids are doing too much social media nowadays and you want to be able to get them to play games that teaches them? Is that the problem you're trying to solve? If that's the problem, that's very good, because a lot of parents are looking for ways to get their kids off socials. The fintech platform that you're trying to build, what is the problem? Is it a savings platform? Is it a banking platform? Whatever, what is the problem? Then you now tell yourself, okay, the solution is what I am building, which is your MVP. Then the next one is proof, result, or traction. This is the part that pre-stage or early stage founders don't like hearing. But I'll tell you the truth. It will be very, very difficult, except it's family and friends, and except it's people that probably just want to give you funds, right? There's a slim chance of someone who has no level of traction to get funding, especially here in Africa and in Nigeria. I'll tell you for free. Go and ask majority of the founders that have pitched. Ask them, probably when they were at pre-stage, if they were able to raise funding. The percentage of people who are pre-stage that raise funding is slim. But people who have a level of traction, they are more likely to hear you out. Why? Because you've shown workings, you've shown results, you've shown people that you can build, you've shown people that you can take it from 0 to 1. It doesn't even matter the level of traction that you have. It doesn't have to be money. It could be validation for that product, that you have users, that you have people on a wait list. And that's why I tell founders, especially when you are a technical founder, do not wait till your product is built before you start marketing it. That's one mistake a lot of people make. The mistake they make is that they think that their product needs to be ready before they go to market. They think that their product needs to be fully developed and they need to have all the nice features before they go to market. Now, there are some products that need to be fully developed, but there are some products that you don't need to. And there's some products that, even though it needs to be fully developed, you don't need to. The level of traction that you can get from that product is not a monetary traction. It could be a user traction, that you have people waiting and ready to use your app. So from day one, as you are writing your code, from day one, as you are mapping out your user stories, or you are mapping out the features in your platform, start doing your marketing. Because whatever you're going to take to investors is proof that this vision, this problem that you are solving, you have traction for it. You have people waiting to use it. No investor is going to invest blindly. Nobody is just going to, except they want to give you their money, or they are laundering money. Probably they are laundering money and they say, okay, we are looking for some young entrepreneurs, we are looking for some young founders to launder money through. But if it's a true investor that literally knows that, because investment is a business, venture capitalist is a business, I am investing so I can see you grow and I can make money from you. That's the reason why I'm going to invest in your business. So if that's the mindset, then I know that I have to see some level of traction. I need to know what I am betting. It's gambling. I need to know what I'm betting on. I need to know what I am banking on. I need to know what I am putting my money in that is literally going to give me a return of investment. So you need to show them proof. You need to show them traction. You need to show them that you are the man for the work. You need to show them that you have it figured out. You need to show them that you know what you are doing. There is a market ready for this. Because this story that we are telling, this story is not just okay, so many people don't know how to save, so I built a product to help them save. That's not the entire thing that makes up the story. What makes a complete story is that you are able to solve a problem. Like I said, you have a solution and you have data. A story is not complete without data. A story is not complete without results. A story is not complete without traction. It's just still idea if all you have is a problem and a solution. Everybody can have a problem. Everybody can have a solution. Everybody can come up with bright ideas. So why should I invest in you? If a lot of founders start thinking about it from that perspective, they will stop waiting for investors fund and they will start doing the real work, so that when the time for investment provides or presents itself, you literally have a lot of traction to show to these people. And like I said, traction doesn't have to be monetary alone. Traction can also be user base, right? So you're asking yourself, what is the proof? From day one, start marketing. And that's why I like founder-led branding. Founder-led branding, founder-led storytelling. Tell people your story. Why are you building this? Today, we're able to build out this particular feature on our product. Okay, why? Carry your users along. There's one girl that I'm going to talk about. She's not building a tech product. She built something for the beauty industry, a hair removal cream for Nigerians. In talking about this founder-led story, name came to mind. The company's name is Esther. What this girl did before she launched her product, and I think a lot of founders, you need to go and study how she was able to launch. She did a 100-day challenge, and in that 100 days, she was talking about how she was building. She was talking about how she was meeting people. She was talking about how she was even failing in the process. She got people really emotionally involved in her story, that when the product came out, it was sold out. And she's selling every single day. She's literally selling. And she had people on her wait list. And she was also asking for funding that period, though. There were some that turned her down. There were some that gave her money. So she was raising little funds here and there. But she had people on her wait list. So she wasn't just doing founder-led branding or founder-led storytelling and she was not having people on her wait list. She was having people on her wait list. People ready to use the products. Building a community. People that were rooting for her. And that's one of the key things, one ingredient that if you add to your story, it will be really good. And then the last thing is the vision. What is the vision? What is the bigger picture? Where are we going with this? What does the next 5 years look like for this market? What does the next 10 years look like? Because when it comes to venture capitalists, when it comes to investments, these are long-term game, right? Except it's the kind of funding that you're looking for is not funding where the investor gets a stake in your company. It's just we just want to give you money, we want to support your dream. But if it's the one where people want to have a stake in your company, you also need to understand that these are people that are also banking and betting on you to succeed, and they're going to stay with you for the long term or whatever timeline of contracts that you're signing with them. And then they ask, how much are you looking for? How much do you want to be able to raise? So whatever I'm teaching you here is something you can use tomorrow, right? Even though this pitch that you're going to get, or this pitch that you're going to do might be people who want to invest in you, to support you. But if tomorrow you decide, okay, we want to raise pre-seed, we want to raise series A, or whatever level of series you want to raise for your product or for your business, you know that you are able to take the knowledge and it's applicable all around. And that's why I'm trying to make it holistic as possible, right? And then your ask, how much do you need? And you need to be able to defend your ask. Don't just call money. How much do you really need to push this product? How much do you really need to go to market? Now, again, except what you're asking for, except what you're currently pitching for is there's already a fee, there's already a ask. You need to ensure that the pitch funds that is available to you, you break it down so investors see where that fund is going to go into. Nobody is just going to give you money. The money is not for you to enjoy life. The money is not for you to flex. It's not to oblate. It's not your December cash out. That's not what the money is for, because for every money that is being given to you, you have to be accountable for it. The money is actually for you to build this product. And if you say, oh, okay, I want to build this product and I need XY amount of money, okay, what do you need the money for? How are you going to allocate your budget? How are you going to allocate the money? It's not that investors will give you money now and then next minute you're buying Benz, or the next minute you are in Dubai, you are having the best time of your life, you are flexing. No, it's that the money you are being given is so that you're able to really build this product. It's so you're able to solve the problem that you say you're going to solve. And then we should be able to see how you're going to spend and allocate your budget. How many percentage goes into marketing? How many percentage goes into product development? How many percentage goes into operations? So you need to be able to divide that budget into different levels and show them that you understand finance and you are also able to spend the money well and not just use the money for whatever you like, right? So now let's go to actual pitch practice. So I made a pitch for us that we're going to see. I'm going to walk us through this, and probably also one of the things that we're going to do is use one of your business, and we're going to craft a pitch on this call, right? We're almost getting to the end of my session, so this is more of the practical side of the session. So fintech, because I like you people a lot, so let's use fintech for this example. So this product is called Fund Hive. One of the problems, and this is not necessarily fintech, but I'm going to explain what it is. And I made it also relatable to this user case because you are looking for funding, you are looking for money. One of the problems we face in Nigeria, and if you're not in Nigeria, maybe you face this in whatever city that you are in, but one of the problems that I know that we face a lot is getting, oh, someone says she can't hear me. Please confirm you can still hear me. So just before I continue, okay, all right, awesome, thank you. Okay, all right, thank you. Oh, Maggie says, okay, you can. All right, awesome. One of the problems that I've noticed that we face a lot in Nigeria is getting access to fundings at a pre-stage level. I remember one business all my life in doing business, I've not raised fundings. I have bootstrapped, but I have pitched. It's funny, right? I have pitched. You see all these storytelling techniques, I have pitched my life. But give me money to run my business, it's a problem. It's either they tell you, and then the people you see win this pitch at the end of the day, some of them have really good track records. And that's one of the things that I have learned. That's why I always tell you, see this data, you need it to back up whatever you're doing. Because if you don't have data, you don't have track record in this Nigeria, nobody will fund you. So it's a problem. It's a real problem because there are some products that need money in the beginning. Even aside the beginning, there are some products that need money in the middle. We need to inject cash in this business because that's how we are going to move forward. We need to do marketing. Some of the reasons why businesses die in Nigeria is because they don't have marketing budgets. The reason why some businesses fail is lack of marketing budget. We are unable to go big. We are unable to do so much when it comes to marketing. So we are managing. You want to run ads, you are using 100K, 200K, 500K, 1 million to run ads for the kind of product that you are building, that you need to outspend your competitors. You want to play in the space of the big guys. Probably you're building a company like Carrywise or Piggyverse. You want to come into that market, and Piggyverse is spending millions in branding and in marketing, and you want to spend your 100K, 200K here and there. You get discouraged because number one, you can't do proper marketing. You can't amplify the voice of your product. You can't do proper PR. You don't have the funds. And it's a real problem in Nigeria. It's a real problem. So a lot of people end up bootstrapping, and it's hard to bootstrap. It is so difficult to bootstrap. Bootstrapping is every day you wake up to God and you pray to God, Father Lord, let me have one customer today. A lot of us will probably lose our minds and get back into the game because that's what we have. One of the I saw something online recently. The person said, if you want to have faith, if you want to understand what is called faith, be an entrepreneur. And I totally agree. Being an entrepreneur will make you lose your mind. There are days like yesterday, you can decide that, okay, today I am quitting this business. I'm not doing it again. Tomorrow you wake up, new insights, fresh insight. You say, okay, this is how we are leading. This is what we are doing now. Let us kick off with it. Let us go with it. That's what being an entrepreneur will teach you. It will teach you how to be strong. It will teach you to be resilient. It will teach you to have all the courage to see. Entrepreneurship will teach you how to be shameless, because you cannot have shame, right? So what I want to build with Fund Hive is to be able to help young entrepreneurs, to be able to help people in the early stage raise fundings through crowdfunding. Remember, I told you the first user of your product or the first investor of your product is your customers. Well, how can we get your audience, the people that love your brand, the people that can amplify the message of your brand, how can we get them to also be your investors? And that's where Fund Hive comes into play. This is a fake project. I'm not building it. I don't think I'm interested, but whoever wants to build it, good and fine for you, right? But just for the purpose of this class. So we found Hive. What we are going to do is Maggie can come to Fund Hive. Maggie can sign up on Fund Hive, get an account, and she's going to have people fund her ideas. The person building the recipe app can go on Fund Hive, create an account on Fund Hive, and have people invest in your idea. You see how I've not even started the pitch, but you can relate to this because it is a problem. All of us, we are facing this problem. It's a problem that we are facing. I am facing it. I will not lie to you. I know you are facing it too. We all want money. We all want people to invest in our ideas. But where is the money going to come from? Where's the money going to? Probably some of us just need money for marketing. You just need that 20 million naira push to do proper marketing. But you don't have it. That is what Fund Hive is going to do. Now, because I understand the struggles of entrepreneurs, I understand that Maggie, every single day Maggie wakes up, she thinks, how am I going to push my business? Today, Maggie wakes up and she quits her business. Tomorrow, she gets back at it again. Next tomorrow, Maggie is thinking, okay, what should I do? She will have one customer and she will use that one customer's money to fund the entire business. And then when the customer leaves her, she's back to square zero and she's stranded. I'm able to understand all of this because I understand my user story. And now my product Fundive. With Fundive, what Maggie can literally do is sign up on Fundive, show us the product, put a pitch deck on the platform, and people can contribute to it. People can invest in it, and they will also get returns. So with the entire platform, Maggie gets to also be accountable to our investors, and people can also give her funds. Like people can literally dash her money with Fundive. So if you look at this entrepreneur, I feel like this person is really doing a good job. Let me just support this person's business. Just take 200,000 as a support to your business. Maggie can take that 200,000, invest it in a business, and she will make more money. Now, let's walk through this pitch. Let's imagine that we are going to pitch to investors. We need people to literally key into this. So the first thing I'm going to start the entire pitch. So I'm going to start it this way. So I'm going to think through my thoughts, because this is literally what I want to use, but I want to think through my thoughts as well, so I'm able to say it very well. Okay. Okay. So we already know what the product is about. We already know the problem that the product is solving. So now let's pitch. Every day in Nigeria, we have thousands of brilliant founders who shot their dream, quit, pack up their bags, and go home because funding never came for their business. Meet Maggie. Okay, sorry, before I go ahead, I want to really use a business that is here. I want to really use a business that is here. So let me pick somebody's business and use it. And a new tech platform connecting junior talents to SMEs. Okay, so I'm going to use the person connecting talent to SMEs, right? So you connect junior talent to SMEs that need to build their prototype. So in my head, I'm thinking that you're training developers. You're training developers, and you want to be able to connect that developers to not just train them, but you also want to connect developers to companies that will help them in building their prototype. So you're able to create like a large market. So that's what I'm going to think in my head. All right. So let's assume that your name here is admin, but I'll call you. Okay, let's just say, oh, will I call you? Maybe you can tell me your name in the chat. Okay, you say you don't train them. Oh, okay, you don't train them. So you only connect junior developers to Chris. Okay. Onis. Okay. You connect junior developers to companies to build their prototype, right? Okay, so let's use that. So I'm going to start again. So every day in Nigeria, we have brilliant founders who shot their dreams, not because they didn't have ideas, not because they didn't have the zeal to push their products, but because they didn't have fundings. Meet Chris, a young Nigerian developer who trains Meet Chris, a young Nigerian developer who trains talent. Now, training is entering my mind, so I have to remove that. Okay, meet Chris, a young Nigerian developer who connects other developers to companies to build their prototype. Over the years, okay, so I'm going to start this way again. Over the years, one of the challenges that Chris has faced is that younger talents or junior talents do not have easy access to what is the problem? So now I need to be able to frame this. I don't want to just jump the gun, right? I need to be able to frame this very well for Chris. Chris, now please tell me in the comment section, the problem you're trying to solve, is it that these junior developers do not really have access to getting jobs, or what is the problem? So I can use your problem for this. I need to know. You see how I struggled with this because I didn't understand the problem very well. So you see how problem ties back to the entire story. Important, important. So please tell me the problem. I want to know the exact problem. Okay. Junior techies don't get opportunity to build experience. Okay. And all companies need experience. Okay. So Chris has said the problem we are trying to solve here is, if you are just starting out as a developer, you're starting out as a junior tech person, you don't have experience, and you need to have experience to get a job. So the job market is big, but the problem is a lot of people are unable to get into the job market because they don't have experience. Now, I'm going to use Chris as the case study for this particular pitch. The problem is that Chris is the person that struggled with this himself, right? Chris struggled with this, and now we have other people that are currently struggling with it. So I'm going to start this way. Every day in Nigeria, we see a lot of brilliant founders who are unable to scale their business, grow their business, not because they lack ideas or the zeal to build, but because they do not have the right support and the right funding to grow. I, for example, was one of those people. My name is Chris from Lagos, Nigeria. Growing up as a young developer in Nigeria, one of the problems that I faced was getting a job. Not because I wasn't skilled or I have not gotten the right certification or the right knowledge, but because for every interview that I go to, they ask me one question that throws me off balance. Where have you worked in? Literally, if I was going to work in any place, they need to give me the job to be able to have that experience. But because I didn't have that experience, I consistently got rejected. Now, over the years, I was able to build my own portfolio and able to build my own project, and was able to also secure a job. Now, this is the same solution that I am building for other young techies, people who are currently learning out of school, new in their career. They have probably learned and taken certification courses, but they have no experience. We are building Chrisland. With Chrisland, you'll be able to get real experience by working in companies as an intern. And while working on those projects, you also get paid. With Chrisland, we've been able to get over 40 young techies on our platform, and we've had 10 companies also sign up to hire our interns. With Chrisland, um, we've successfully merged some young techies with these companies. Now, what we are yet to ask for is $500,000 to be able to build a real prototype, or to be able to build a real product that solves this problem, because we've been doing it manually. Now we need 500,000 to be able to build a real product, market it, get more companies to come on board with us, and train more talents to be able to work with these companies. The future of work and economic development starts with these younger generations, and it's important for us to come together collectively to train them, to help them, and to give them an opportunity in the world. Now, that's my simple pitch. This may not be a well-crafted pitch. This may not be okay. Chris is now moving understanding your product very well, but this may not be a well-crafted pitch, but this is something that I was able to like go through the entire process. Now, if I understand all of this, if I want to pitch, I'll be able to craft it very well and learn my pitch before pitching it to investors. I'm going to teach you some pitch technique, but this was just literally on the spot. But that's what we need to do, right? We need to go through this problem. So let's go back to Fund Hive and let's pitch Fund Hive, because this is the one that I have here. Okay, I'm gonna start with the entire problem. Let's say the person that we are trying to solve this problem for is Amaka, right? So every day in Africa, thousands of brilliant founders, they shut down their dreams, not because their ideas failed, but because the funding never came. Meet Amaka, a fashion tech founder in Lagos. She built a product that could change how local artisans sell online. But for every investor meeting that Amaka went into, they kept on saying the same thing. You are too early. You have no track record. You have no traction. Imagine how many Amaka we have lost. People that never got the chance to build because they thought they were too early. The early stage funding gap in Nigeria and in Africa is very massive. A lot of investors, they want to invest in people that are already scaling, but they forget that we have 80% of people in the early stage that can't access seed capital. And that is why we are building Fund Hive, a trusted crowdfunding platform that connects early stage founders with people who believe in their vision. With Fund Hive, founders can get to tell their story, founders can get to share their prototype, and founders can get to raise micro investment from individuals who want to see them succeed. We are not just building for investors, but we are also raising people to be investors. With Fund Hive, we are making it easy, we are making it safe, and we are making it transparent for people to be able to support startups. In the beginning stage, we've been able to get 10 founders to trust our product and to use it. And we've collectively raised over 500 million naira in seed funding to these startups. Now, let me even remove fundings. Let's say we don't have any form of fundings. So I'm going to talk about our traction again. We currently have over 100 founders on our platform waiting for their. We currently have over 100 users on our wait list, and we are currently in partnership with over 10 new investors, people waiting for us to launch so they can invest in these ideas. Our vision is to literally power the next generation of African founders, so we are able to take them from idea to impact. So we are able to take them from seed level, from beginners level to a global stage. In the next 5 years, we want to see more founders, more early stage founders raise up to $10,000, $20,000, $10 million from collective support. We want to be able to get more people into the venture capitalist space, and we also want to be able to get more early stage founders the right access to opportunities and to funding. And today we are asking for, let's say we're asking for 500,000. And today we are seeking for 500,000 to scale our technology, to onboard verified startups from all over the world. But we are looking at targeting first 5 African countries, and also to launch a compliance-ready, technology-driven platform that ensures our transactions are safe and secured. With this funding, Fund Hive will be able to unlock the abundant resources that lies in Africa, that aligns or resides in Nigeria. And we believe that people can raise people. We believe that if you support the dream of one person, you are supporting the dream of an entire nation. So join us today and let's raise one founder together. That's my little pitch for Fund Hive. So you see how I was able to go from the hook, talk about the problem we face in Nigeria, in Africa, talk about the solution, which is Fund Hive, talk about proof. And I also said we should take out, let's say we don't have money. What we literally have is users, let's say 100 users, right? And I also talk about the big vision. We want people to be able to get $500,000, $10,000 on our platform. This is how you work on your pitch. This is how you use storytelling for your pitch. So you are not just coming from the perspective of, oh, Ada is a girl, she's going through this problem. You're also coming from the perspective of data. You're coming from the perspective of proof, of traction, because that's what's going to get, and also vision. Vision is extremely important. That's what's going to get people to invest in you. Now, when you are pitching, there are certain things you need to consider. You need to pitch to people's hearts. You need to pitch to people's minds, and you need to pitch to people's wallets. Because at the end of the day, what you want is their wallet, what you want is their money. But to be able to get to that money part, you need to connect with their hearts. You see how this fund hive thing makes sense? If somebody can build this thing, I'll be so happy. Because why am I struggling to raise funds? Why am I struggling to raise funds when people can literally believe? Because there's so many, maybe investors, like I said, investors want money. So they are thinking in their head, before I invest in this person, this thing should yield me good return of investment. But there are people that can believe in me. There are people that can see my track record. There are people that can see the things that I have done over the years and say, okay, Blessing, you know what? I want to be able to invest in you. How much do you need? So these people, they connect with my story. So why don't we have that? So connecting emotionally, important. Secondly, the mind. To connect with investors, you need to be able to get investor from this, you need to connect with their mind, logic, data. What have you done? What have you done? Then with a wallet, you need to show them the business opportunity in this industry. You need to show them that your idea is scalable, because people don't want to invest in just the now. They want to invest in your future. They want to invest in tomorrow. They want to see that whatever you're building today is scalable. You can scale this. So you need to win their hearts first. You need to connect with their mind, and you need to collect their money, which is their wallets. Investors want people that have a big problem and a big market. Big problem equals big money. If you are solving for a small market, that is small money. It's niched market, small money. Investors are looking for people with big problem, because big problem equals big market, and big market equals big money. And everybody wants good return of their investment. They are looking for clear solution and traction. Is your solution clear? The problem that you say you are solving, is it clear? Do we understand it? And is that solution actually solving a problem? And where is your track record? And sometimes the track record could even be you. One thing I'd say is a lot is people invest in people. People don't invest in businesses. People invest in people. Is that they believe that this person is the right fit. Why do you think people would hire you? People would hire you because they see your potential and they see the things that you say you can do, and they will want to believe in you and get you on board. So people invest in people. There are some times that you might not have built the problem, you might not have built the solution, but because of what you have done over the years, because of your track record, and that's why one of the things that you always see in people's pitch deck is the team that is building. Because of your track record, people would say, okay, I trust that this person has the right technical and non-technical capability to actually handle this project. What have you done in the past? Where have you worked in? What have you done? Literally, people want to see that. So aside talking about your traction of the particular solution that you're building, we should also talk about the traction of the individual. Because you are the person, is you I am investing in, is you I'm giving my money to. So your ability to hold and grow money, your ability to hold and grow business is something I also want to see. It's something that if they can see that this person over the years, this person has a track record of building businesses, this person has a track record of growing teams, this person has a track record of scaling things, they would give you their money because they trust the person behind the business. So you also need to ensure that in as much as you are putting your traction, you need to show the traction of the individual. And that's why I always tell people, go back to doing the hard work. Go back to doing the hard work. Go back into building yourself, because you are the person that is the most important factor in this entire thing. The person that will be able to grow this product, the person that will be able to scale this company is you, your ability to scale this company. So if I am going to give you my money, I need to see that you have the track record. I need to see that you have the competency. I need to see that you have the zeal, the drive to move this product forward. Because if this company is going to collapse, it is dependent on you. Every business rise and fall on the level and the ability of the individual leading the vision. If you do not have the right knowledge to carry the vision, it will fall. It will fall. Also, investors is looking for passionate and competent team. I've said this. They're also looking for the business potential. How can we grow the business? What is the market size? What is the value of this business? They're also looking if the story makes sense, because they're not just investing in your product, they're investing in you, they're investing in clarity, they're investing in credibility, and they're investing in conviction. These are what investors are looking for. So when you're delivering your pitch, ensure that you are conversational, you're not robotic. You're not going to stand there and just cram. No, be conversational. Ensure you know your pitch very well. I'm not saying you shouldn't write out your pitch and memorize it. Ensure you know it very well. But when you're delivering it, don't deliver it like a robot. Today, every Nigerian, be conversational. Look at people. There's something I like to do, especially when I am having conversations with people, I'm pitching something or I'm saying something, I look directly into your eyes. Do you know what that does for me? It makes you know that I am not afraid. And what people buy is your confidence. There's so many things people buy. I think I've talked about quite a number of things that people do buy. But people buy your confidence. Confidence is something that people can easily see. Fear is also something people can see. If people see that you are shaking, I will not invest in a founder that is not confident. If you can't pitch to me what you do and you're not confident in saying it, why should I give you my money? I won't give you my money. It shows me that you're not ready. You're not ready. But if you are confident and you show up strong, bold, confident, like say all the rubbish in this life and let your pitch not be clear. But because of the type of individual that you are and how you show up, I'm more likely to be drawn to you. I want to invest in you. So there's some body language that people read, especially confident people. So you walk up into the room, you scan the entire room, you look at everything that is, you look at the judges in their eyes, and you ask them for their money. Because you're not just there to take their money, you're also there to make them money. So don't be ashamed of asking people for money. You need their money, take their money. That's what you need. Right? That's what we are here for. What are we here for? We're here for the money. So let us not act like we don't know what we're here for. Also, your time discipline matters. Ensure you keep to time when delivering your pitch. Visuals, your slide should be readable. Make it simple. Your storyline, keep it human. Keep human examples. Right? Don't use technical jargons. Some of us do not understand technical things. Don't use technical jargon, especially if you're a technical founder. This is one of the problems people have. You come and talk all the we are using AI. This one thing, this one thing. How does that relate to me? Explain it in simple terms. Don't be speaking plenty grammar. Don't use grammar that will bust people head. Just use very simple, plain English that everybody can. Let not because of your pitch, I'm going to open my dictionary. Say, what is this person talking about? Let it be simple. It's not about the technicality of your pitch. It's not about how, I don't even know the word to use, but it's not really about how big your grammar is that will make us buy. It's not about how you present, we are building the next generation, the world's next generation, blah 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 of technique. That's not what will make people buy from you. That's not what will make people invest in you. People want to understand what you're saying. They want to relate to what you're saying, and you should keep it simple. Now, this is something I want you all to do. I want you to write in the chat, and I'm going to give you some minutes to do this, right? It's a simple exercise that we're all going to do. We are helping who? Who are we helping? The customer. Solve what? What problem are we helping them solve? So that they can benefit. Benefit from what? So I need us to do this simple exercise. Put it in the chat. We are helping who solve what so they can benefit. And with that, we can go back to the framework of, I think the slide is going to be shared with you. We can go back to this framework and use it to craft our pitch. And probably I'll have 1 or 2 persons just come up and share with us what they are building, who they are solving this problem for, and how it can benefit us. And then we ask questions. So I'm going to wait for you guys to put that in the comment section. All right, so I'm seeing someone. Farouk says, we're helping the schools and parents solve the foundational educational crisis with interactive games so that their kids can have problem. You see, this is one of the problems that I'm talking about. First of all, Farouk, you have confused me because you have given me problem now. So we're going to simplify this thing that you are doing because that's not really it. I think maybe Farouk, you'll be the person that we are going to actually help with his speech. We are helping the schools and parents solve the foundational educational crisis. Now, there are so many foundational educational crises. You cannot group the entire foundational educational crisis into one and say, what exactly is the foundational educational? So now let's start with this. Farouk, I need you to answer the question, what is the number one problem you are solving? Don't use big grammar to cover it. Is it that kids do not know how to read? Is it that kids do not know how to learn? Okay, math and literacy. This math and literacy, let us go back. Let's enter into it. Let's go deep into it. What is the problem with math and literacy? Is it that kids do not know how to solve math? Because yes, I agree. Mathematics, oh my God, it is difficult. I agree. Math is very, very difficult. I think math was a little bit easier for me in school, but you see further maths, I didn't know shit. I didn't know shit about further maths. So I need you to tell me exactly what the problem is. What is the problem with maths and literacy? I'm waiting to read from you. You can also decide to unmute your mic. You can decide to unmute your mic and let's have a conversation about it. Oh, okay, okay, so okay, all right, no problem. So you can go ahead and type. So let me know. Um, what is the problem with math and literacy? I need you to be specific. Oh, okay.
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 So now I
Farouk, you can
can
speak,
talk.
yes.
Oh, right. Thank you very much. So the problem with kids, like you mentioned, kids run away from maths a lot. They see maths, I'm like, no, I don't want maths, I don't want maths, I don't want maths. And then in terms of literacy as well, when they try to read the books that they give them, it's always either they are forced to read it or they are not sort of willing to read it by themselves. They are either forced or coerced in some way that they would have been taught already in school. We are not trying to replace the school, they've been taught already in school. This is just to reinforce what has been taught in school and try to practice at home or in the computer lab. That's what we're trying to do. I don't know if that was able to simplify it, I guess.
So is it just maths, or it's more like maths and other subjects?
So right now we are starting with math, but it's going to be math and other subjects. So math, literacy, and science. Those are the three subjects we want
So
to
more
cover.
STEM
But right now,
related courses, more STEM
yes,
related
yes,
subjects.
exactly. STEM. Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Yes.
Okay, so now the problem, from what I hear you say, the problem is that kids find it difficult to understand what their teachers are teaching in school. Probably when they come home and they want to do more studies on it, they also find it difficult to understand math. But
Yes.
now the
Okay.
the question is, there are some people that understand what their teachers are teaching, and there's some people that understand maths that are having good grades. So those people might not be our problem. But there are some people that no matter how the teacher will teach that particular subject, they will still not get it. Even though the mother gets home lesson teacher, they will still not get it. So there are some kids that their way of learning is different. They need a simpler way to learn a particular subject. Is that it?
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. I
Okay.
think I even start to
So
write functional set.
this solution that you are building, how does it help? Let's say, okay, I used to be a teacher. When I started in my career, I used to be a teacher, and I had this student in my class. The problem with that boy was not that he wasn't intelligent. The problem was that he was too shy, he was not confident in himself, and he was just a very timid child. And because I was able to identify that in him, what I did was to teach him separately. And not just that, I was also able to bring him closer and be patient with him until he started picking up and he started learning. Not a lot of teachers are like me. Not a lot of people would be that patient, especially in this our society, right? Not a lot of people will have that level of compassion towards a child. So some parents get to employ home lesson teachers for their children, so they get to teach them even further. But that home lesson self still does not do that justice, because you need to understand psychology of these children, and you need to understand empathy and emotional intelligence to be able to teach these special needs children. So I'm able, from what we are saying, I'm able to pick out one audience which is special needs children from as your target audience. Secondly, I'm also able to see that there's children that want to really learn, but they just need a different way of learning. So we have special needs children, which I will think, now depending on market validation, right, should be like the primary audience. Because special needs children, when you see them in classes, it's always difficult for them to learn. So they're always coming low, they're always coming at the bottom of the class. And then parents, and in Nigeria, we live in a, now I'm really explaining this because I really want you to understand your audience. In Nigeria, we live in a society where people don't understand what autism is. People don't understand all of these things that happen with special needs children. They don't understand it. They trivialize it. A lot of Nigerian parents don't understand that their children probably just have autism, or they have AHDD, or whatever they call it, all of this spectrum thing, right? So they don't understand it. So in order for us to be able to capture that market, we need to make learning as easy, breakable, interactive for them. Now let us pick that as our problem, and this is our solution. We want to help special needs children. We want to be able to make learning fun, easy, less stimulating, interactive for special needs children. Now, this is one audience, one solution for this audience. We can decide to have another audience, which is children who are in school, they are learning, or children who are consistently on their phones, but parents want them, instead of the time, one of the things that every parent wants is their children should stop watching plenty films and be learning. Parents like to see their children always learning. They don't want their children to be scrolling mindlessly on social media. They want their children to learn. So let's use another, we have the second audience. We're saying parent children who have devices and are consistently on their phones. We have created a solution where they can get to learn. It is fun, it is interactive. So instead of your child to spend countless of hours on socials or watching their favorite cartoon, they should spend that time learning, but they are still having fun while learning. So we are making learning fun, easy, interactive, and enjoyable for children who love to, for children. Let's just leave it like that. So we have two audiences. So now I need you to frame your pitch again. I need you to frame this exercise. We are helping, either you pick one of the audience, special needs children, solve what problem so they can benefit. So I need you to say it again. So you're going to write it for me. Let me use another person. And this is the person doing the recipe. We are helping Africans solve everyday meal planning challenges by discovering meals they can make from what they already have at home and find vendors with AI. Okay, that sounds interesting. So,
Farouk, please drop your hand. Sorry.
okay.
Farouk, please drop your hands. Yeah. Oh.
So what you're trying to tell me, Shinwe, is that you want to help me plan my meal. You want to help me look through my kitchen and see what is in my kitchen, and then help me plan my meal and also find vendors. Okay. So I think this is where I need you to speak. So is the problem that I have difficulties planning my meals? Is that the problem? Because if I have difficulties
Anyway, you
planning my
can
meals,
unmute. Yeah.
to be honest, I don't think my problem is having difficulties plan my meals. I think the problem is I don't want to cook, and also I can easily buy food. So I need you to tell me the problem that this customer audience is facing.
Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, hear you. Yes. Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. This is not a problem everyone faces. I too, as a single girl, this wasn't a problem for me. But when I had a family, and I now have a family, so I find out that as a mom, you have to cook like 3 different meals every day. So you find out that in a day, you most times you spend most of the day thinking of what to cook. And I found out that a lot of people have the same challenges. I have friends all over the world. They'll be like, "Oh, what did you cook today?" So I'll cook the same thing. You see, I don't find out that yes, a lot of people are actually facing these challenges. So that's how the idea came up. And
That's a very
what
good
the
one.
idea does is you like impute what you have at home, the ingredients you have, and it will make suggestions for you, like meals, African meals you can make, and it can there are other things that can be incorporated into it, including dietary, requirements. Those are allergic and all those things. A lot of people want to experiment with African food. A lot of foreigners want to eat African food, but Africa, we don't really keep records. So a lot of people don't know the ingredients like that. They make some delicacies they would love to try if it is something they're allergic to. And now everybody's trying to, be fit. People select what they eat. So these a lot of things can be is still like a thought, but yeah, that's the overall idea.
Okay. So it's a good thought, but I need you to develop your ideas very well. And you need to start with market research. Now, in place of Africans, because you generalized it, I will remove Africans and I'll put moms. Because if you put moms, it changed the entire narrative. We are helping mothers or wives, whichever one you want to call it. We're helping mothers, or we're helping, let me just use the word wives. We're helping wives solve the everyday meal planning challenge by discovering meals they can make from what they already have at home and find vendors with AI. Now, this particular product needs a lot of development, because this sounds good, but if I'm an investor, I'm thinking from the perspective of there's so many people on social media nowadays, that food bloggers, because you have competitors, food bloggers that are posting different meals. Moms can, or mothers or wives can easily go there and get meal inspiration. Because what I hear you say is meal inspiration. That's the solution. You want to be able to give people meal inspiration. Why do you need an app to give people meal inspiration? Then you went ahead and say finding vendors. What will these vendors do? With these vendors, will I be able to buy the meal from the vendors or buy ingredients from the vendor? Is it also a shopping app? So I need you to understand the problem very well. What are wives actually facing? Because if you understand the problem that wives are facing when it comes to making food in their house, you'll be able to build a product that solves that problem, and you'll be able to communicate it effectively using storytelling. Right now, yes, I agree, it's still in the development stage, but it still needs a lot of work, and you need to refine it. Like, go back to your market research. What does this industry even look like right now? What does this industry look like? Are people actually pay? Will me as a wife, will I pay for an app that helps me with meal inspiration? Can it go beyond that? What is the real value that I'm getting from it? These are some of the things that you need to consider. But it's actually a good one, but it just needs a lot of development. So instead of Africans, like I said, we replace it with wives. So Farouk says, we are making learning fun, easy, and interactive for visual learners and special needs children, so they can catch up in class and be equipped with logic, problem solving, and STEM skills. I love this now. So you see how it's easy for me to understand what you're building now, Farouk, because now you've told me the solution, which is you're trying to make learning fun and easy. You've told me who you're solving it for: special needs children and visual learners. I know a lot of people, and I really do think that in Nigeria we need to go beyond just writing on the blackboard. There are some people that are actual visual learners. There are some people that the way they learn is visually, not just write. They'll come to class. I saw one post on social media. The girl said she's no longer going to school again. The reason is because our teachers are making her copy so many notes, and she doesn't want to copy notes. She's tired of it. And it's a legit concern, right? So we want to make learning easy, fun, interactive for visual learners and special needs children, so they can catch up in class. That is a real problem. Special needs children find it difficult to catch up in class. They are always behind. Some of them are always carrying last. The boy that I was talking about, he was always the last in his class. But when I taught this child, he came fifth. Like, literally everybody was surprised. Everybody was surprised because they never expected that. The boy's name is Obina. They never expected that this boy will come top what self. You won't say that for him, because they wrote him off. They thought that it was just a dullard. He wasn't just a dullard. He was a child with special needs. The child was going through trauma. The child was going through a lot. The child, I don't even know what to say, but he had a lot that he was dealing with. And it only takes someone who really cares about children to see that, right? And then and be equipped with logic and problem solving skills. Okay, so that's fine. I think this is where we come to the end of my session. I don't know if anybody has any question, but I have 10 minutes to round up. I didn't even know that this last part is going to take that long. But this is the time you get to ask me any question. I'm going to take 1 or 2 questions, and that will be it.
While the questions are coming, Blessing, maybe you can post your LinkedIn in case someone to follow you. Maybe ask more questions. So that could be really helpful, and you can, they can connect with you. But yeah, the floor is yours, everyone. If you have questions, just raise your hand.
I'm Blessing Bossman on all social media platforms. LinkedIn, type Blessing Bossman, you see me there. Instagram, bossman.blessing, you see me there. But LinkedIn is one of like the best place. But Instagram, bossman.blessing, you see me there. Blessing Bossman on all platforms.
All right, sounds like everyone is excited. You've answered most of your questions. But please let's show some love. Say thank you. Okay, I can already see one. Say thanks for the great work that you do and for validating our products. That's from Farouk. Thank you so much, Lessons. Yeah, others, please go ahead, leave a kind word and show gratitude. Blessing is here because she wanted to impact knowledge, not because of any other reason. And it's good. We can just say thank you. Thank you so much. I also enjoyed the entire session and it was really interesting getting to hear from you. Mm.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. And I wish you well. I wish you good luck with whatever you're doing and looking forward to seeing the amazing products that you're going to bet and bring into the world. We need more founders, so let's keep building. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. And yeah, good luck with the hackathon. Hopefully, one of you here wins the cash prize of 1 million. All right. Bye.